Can I ask you something personal? Who were you before life taught you to be careful, before you learned that being too loud makes people uncomfortable? Before you figured out that needing too much pushes people away, before someone somewhere made you feel like your full self was just too much, who were you before all of that? Because somewhere between childhood and right now, most of us quietly became someone we never agreed to be. We shrunk, we adapted. We developed personalities that were not born from who we are, but from what we needed to survive the rooms we were in. And the terrifying part, we got so good at it that we stopped noticing. This is about the version of you that learned to perform instead of just exist. The walls you built that you call your personality, the distance you keep that you call independence. The silence you hold that you call being low maintenance. It is time to talk about the person you became just to survive and whether that person is still who you want to be. Welcome back to Ife Random Reflections. I am really glad you are here for this one because this is the kind of conversation most people feel but never say out loud. If you are new to this space, we talk about healing, faith, identity, and the kind of real-life experiences that change you from the inside out. Today, we are stepping into something that might hit a nerve in the best way. We are talking about survival personalities and the quiet grief of realizing you have been living as an edited version of yourself for a long time. Before we go deeper, if this kind of content speaks to you, subscribe and turn on notifications. I share reflections like this every week and I pour a lot into them. I would love for you to stay connected. There is a concept in psychology called adaptive behavior. When we are young and we encounter pain, rejection, or instability, our minds find ways to cope. We learn what to say and what to hide. We learn who to be depending on who is in front of us. We learn which parts of us are welcomed and which parts are ignored, so we adapt. Maybe you became the funny one because humor felt safer than vulnerability. Maybe you became the helper because being needed felt safer than being wanted. Maybe you became the quiet one because taking up space came with consequences. These are not flaws, they were survival strategies. They worked for the moments they were built for. The problem is that many of us kept wearing them long after we left those environments. You are not in that house anymore. You are not in that classroom anymore. You are not surrounded by those same people, yet a part of you is still responding like you are, and that is something worth sitting with. Let me show you what this can look like. You over-apologize for things that are not your fault, for taking up space, for having needs, for saying no, for simply existing in a way that might inconvenience someone. It becomes automatic, like your presence must always come with an apology you struggle to receive. Someone compliments you and you deflect it. Someone offers help and your instinct is to refuse. Receiving feels vulnerable and vulnerable feels unsafe, so you stay in giving mode where you feel in control. You read every room before you enter it. You scan the energy, observe the people, and adjust yourself accordingly. You have done this so often it feels natural, yet it is exhausting. It also means most people never really meet you. They meet the version of you that felt safest in that moment, and here is the one that cuts deeper. You do not even know what you like anymore. Because for so long your preferences, your opinions, and your desires were shaped around managing other people's comfort. What do you actually want? Not what is acceptable, not what is practical. What do you actually want? For some people, that question is hard to answer. There is a grief that comes with realizing you have been performing your life, a real one. You begin to mourn the years you spent being someone you did not fully choose, the relationships where you held yourself back, the opportunities you avoided because the version of you that learned to survive was too afraid, the parts of you you kept hidden because the world did not feel safe enough. That grief is valid. You are allowed to feel it, but the fact that you are even thinking about this right now matters. It means something in you is waking up. And the first step to becoming who you really are is acknowledging that you have been someone else. You were not broken, you were adaptive, and that helped you survive. But now the question is, do you still need to be that way? Coming home to yourself is not loud or dramatic, it is quiet. It happens in small decisions over and over again. It is saying what you truly think instead of what will be accepted. It is letting someone see you on a difficult day instead of pretending you are fine. It is sitting with your own thoughts and actually listening to them. It is asking for what you need and allowing people to respond however they will. It is also learning the difference between growth and another form of performance, because sometimes we do not stop performing, we just become better at it. We replace one mask with a more polished one and call it healing. Real change looks like being the same person whether anyone is watching or not. It looks like your peace not depending on approval. It looks like being able to sit with yourself without needing to escape. That is not a final destination. It is something you practice daily. The person you became to survive did something powerful. They protected you when you needed it. They helped you navigate spaces that were not built for you. They carried you through, but you are not in survival mode forever. You are allowed to let go of the armor. You are allowed to be less careful, more honest, more yourself. The world does not need another performance. It needs the real you. The one underneath all the adapting, the one that has been there all along, waiting for it to feel safe enough to come out. Maybe today it feels a little safer than yesterday. If this spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what resonated with you. If someone came to mind while listening, send this to them. Sometimes the right words reach people at the right time. Subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you in the next reflection. Take care of yourself.